What's up, guys? It's Josh here, back with another Kansas City Chiefs related video. And I know this topic that we're about to talk about today isn't necessarily the hottest topic in all of Chiefs Kingdom, but it was something that I've thought about since someone asked me about it yesterday when I was hosting one of my live streams, and I really just wanted to get a video out to you guys because, sometimes news is slow. The Orlando Brown news is kind of played out by now. I've made a few videos on that, and if you haven't seen them, go watch them, please. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I love making videos for you guys, and I just wanted to talk about something today. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So like I said, someone asked me yesterday when I was doing one of my live streams, would you like the Chiefs to bring back LeVeon Bell? And to most Chiefs fans, they'd probably be like, no, what did LeVeon Bell do for us? Just not worth it. Don't bring him back. But me, I look at it a little bit differently. So first of all, the Chiefs typically carry 4 running backs, and right now they only have 3. And the 3 are Clyde, EdwardsHelaire, Darrell Williams, and Darwin Thompson. And they're probably going to pick up another running back at some point, maybe a late round prospect in the draft or an undrafted free agent kind of guy, or they could still bring the free agent too if they wanted to. But I expect them to add a running back at some point this offseason, because right now your 2 deep is Clyde EdwardsHelaire and Darrell Williams. Darwin Thompson, I'm not sure what the Chiefs' plan is for him. Maybe he finally cracks the rotation this year. I don't know. We'll see. But, the Chiefs typically carry 4 running backs, like I said. And Clyde EdwardsHelaire and Darrell Williams, most people will look at that and they'll be like, oh, well, the Chiefs are fine. And it's like, well, what if one of them gets hurt? Well, then quickly, Darwin Thompson's your number 2 back. So, not a great position to be in. So with that being said, I would like the Chiefs to pick up another running back, and LeVeon Bell is certainly an option because he was on this team last year, and another year in learning the offense and that sort of thing can always help a running back in Andy Reid's offense. Now, ideally, I would like the Chiefs to get a burner, home run threat kind of guy for their next running back so they can kind of replace what they lost in Damian Williams. And honestly, I wish they had just kept Damian Williams, but, that's a story for another day. Clyde EdwardsHelaire and Darrell Williams, both of them aren't that fast, like 4.6, 4.7 guys, just really not that fast. I would like like I said, for the Chiefs to get someone that, is like 4.5, 4.4, 4.3 fast, because I would like kind of something a little bit different with one of our backs instead of a bunch of guys that are kind of just in between the tackles, runners, that can fit through smaller holes. And like Darrell, he's the kind of guy that will just, if he sees any sort of a hole, he's just going to run through it and try as hard as he can. Downhill runner, old school thumper kind of guy. And then Clyde EdwardsHelaire, he's a little bit more finesse, but still kind of almost the same way. I would like the Chiefs to get maybe someone that will, just take an outside run and break a long one off. But LeVeon Bell actually isn't that kind of guy, but I would still be okay with the Chiefs adding him. And that's just because he's someone that is a safety valve in the passing game. And we'll get into that a little bit here in a second. Andy Reid did trust him last year as a pass protector. See, one of the areas that Clyde EdwardsHelaire lacks in is being a good pass protector and blocking for Patrick Mahomes on those critical downs. A lot of times last year they brought in Darrell Williams to do that, but LeVeon Bell is also very capable. The team trusted him doing that. And LeVeon Bell, I still think, has something left, and I think we saw that a little bit last year. Now, when I say that, a lot of Chiefs fans are probably like, what are you talking about? LeVeon Bell, he didn't do anything. Well, when you look at his stats at face value, yeah, LeVeon Bell didn't have a big year or anything. But here's the thing. I see so many Clyde EdwardsHelaire apologists on Twitter and social media that are like, oh, well, he ran behind a horrible O-line. Let's wait to see Clyde behind, a good O-line. And yeah, I get it. The offensive line was bad. And that sucks for any running back, especially one like LeVeon Bell that needs, a good O-line to be able to thrive. A lot of running backs need a good O-line to be able to thrive. But, before I get too off topic, all these people, they're like, Clyde had a horrible O-line. He'll do better with a new O-line. Well, why not the same logic for LeVeon Bell? Why do the same people not talk about the offensive line when it comes to LeVeon Bell? Because, the way the tenure ended with LeVeon Bell and the Chiefs, I think they kind of owe it to Bell to let him run behind this new offensive line, because I think he'd look a whole heck of a lot better. LeVeon Bell still averaged 4 yards a carry this past season, which I think is actually like the same number, if not maybe like 0.1 yards off from the same yards per carry that Clyde Edwards-Helaire averaged. Different circumstances, but they both averaged around the same yards per carry, so that needs to be considered. Secondly, LeVeon Bell was an asset in the receiving game. There's just the problem again, his stats didn't pop off the screen because Bell, he never even had more than 3 receptions in a game for Kansas City, and I was shocked when I saw that because he actually averaged 9.6 yards per reception as a Chief, but there were multiple games where he would look really good in the passing game, and then they would just stop going to him. Like I said, they never gave him more than three receptions in a game, or he just never had more than 3 receptions in a game. But like I remember in the Jets game, he had like one really nice reception that went for like 14 yards right at the beginning of the game, and then they just never went to him again. He had like 3 receptions for 31 yards on just 3 targets in that Jets game as well. And then there was week 11 against the Raiders. Bell had 1 reception that went for 11 yards in the first half and then wasn't targeted the entire game. Week 15 against New Orleans, Bell had 1 catch for 14 yards and was not targeted once again the rest of the game. The Chiefs won all those games that I mentioned, but I mean, this guy was helping you and you didn't go to him. Also, another reason I think Bell gets some unfair criticism is, again, he's someone that needs like some carries, more than just a few carries to get going, and the Chiefs just never gave him an opportunity beyond a few carries, which was just not, like, you can't give a running back 3 carries behind one of the worst offensive lines in the run blocking, at least in the entire league, and be like, go be good, because it's not that easy. And here's an interesting stat as well that I wrote about a few months back at the beginning of free agency. Excuse me. There was some games where Bell pretty clearly outperformed Clyde Edwards-Helaire. In fact, over the span of 7 games, so from the first Denver game to the New Orleans game, which was the stretch in which LeVeon Bell and Clyde Edwards-Helaire were both active on the team. LeVeon Bell had a higher yards per carry than Clyde Edwards-Helaire in 4 of those games. So he had a higher yards per carry in a majority of the games that they were both on the team. But yet again, there's a lot of Clyde Edwards-Helaire apologists out there and a lot of people who just kind of brush off the contributions LeVeon Bell gave them. And I don't mean to make this the Clyde Edwards-Helaire hate show or anything like that, but again, it just needs to be considered because I don't think people realize how actually impressive LeVeon Bell was when he got the ball. And one of the most disappointing things was one of LeVeon Bell's most effective games. It wasn't a huge game by any means, but he had over 60 yards from scrimmage against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their first matchup during the regular season. And there was one play that was really good. He turned like a 5-yard loss into a 6-yard gain with his ability to make guys miss and wiggle around defenders. It was like a really good play, if you know the one that I'm talking about. But he had like over 60 yards from scrimmage in that game, was really good at just getting the Chiefs first downs when they needed one, was really effective that game. And then they had him suit up for the Super Bowl later that year against the Bucs, and when clearly nothing was working, they still didn't even try LeVeon Bell. And if I'm LeVeon Bell, that's a slap in the face, because that was one of my better games against one of the best teams in the league, and you don't even play me the second time against them. And then everyone knows that throw where Mahomes was parallel to the ground or whatever in the Super Bowl while he was being chased around, and then Darrell Williams, it hit him in the face mask and hit the ground. It was incomplete. LeVeon Bell doesn't drop that ball. He's a way better receiver than Darrell Williams, and I like Darrell. But LeVeon Bell, the Chiefs misused him. They just didn't give him enough of an opportunity. But if you actually go back and chart LeVeon Bell's snaps on your own, you'll see there is a lot. He did a lot of the little things well, and he still has that ability to make guys miss. I don't think he's washed like a lot of people say, and I think the Chiefs owe it to him to bring him back and let him run behind this offensive line. And like I said, another year in this offense would do him some good. And if it's around the time the season's about to start, if LeVeon Bell still isn't signed and the Chiefs still think, they could use a running back, I'd be all for bringing LeVeon Bell back. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you agree, disagree, would you like to see LeVeon Bell back? Let me know. Let's get a debate going. But yeah, that's all I got for today. So make sure you like, share, subscribe so other Chiefs fans can find this, and check out my work on ShowMeFootball.com and Arrowhead Addict. But that's all I got for today, guys. Peace.